What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to cover over how to do a GM one-wire alternator swap. I started this project Saturday. Today's Monday, and we're getting plates for the 86 come Thursday. So we're trying to get everything all set and done together. I was waiting to finish the one-wire alternator swap for this one boot. It's good to have one of these on the back of the terminal, so that just came in. 3.5-inch speakers for the dash came in. LED lights for the dash came in. The harness for the dash came in, and then I just picked up like a cheap Bluetooth radio. That's actually the same one in this car. I think it works great in this car, so I decided I'd throw it into this car as well because it was for a good price. But all these came in today. Now we're gonna get into the alternator, but I just figured I'd go over this stuff real quick. And then you can see we also have our GT dash bezel, and I have the AC vent for this side. But I figured these all came in, and I ordered them just the other day. That way, before we put the dash pad on, which I have decided not to do yet. Obviously, you can see it sitting right here. Until we know the entire harness works and the gauges work, which we were waiting on to put the alternator in. Now, the car runs and drives. I drove it into the driveway, so I know that it does. Just the alternator wasn't charging at the time, and before I kill a battery, I'd rather have the alternator all set and ready. So let's go over what we got. Now this was a 1G alternator, and you can tell that this is the old alternator. It has 4 terminals in the back, and then this current car is on a V belt system, not a serpentine belt like it should have been from the factory. But so I think it has the truck pulleys on it. You could do a 3G alternator swap, you could do a 2G alternator swap, you could do whatever the hell you want. If it was a serpentine belt system and it was actually an 8650 car, it should be a 2G from the start, or from the factory I should say. I think this motor got pulled out of a truck, and that's why it has the 1G. So first things first, you would swap over whatever pulley you have, unless you bought if you're doing a GM one wire, which we're doing, you would swap over whatever pulley you have. The pulleys, now I've already put this in the car, the pulleys are both V-belt pulleys, and they seem to be the same diameter, but to swap it, you just need an impact gun and pop it right off. Now this one is different than the one, now this, okay, first off, this is not my way to set it up. This is just how the car came. It's not the right way, but we're gonna serpentine belt swap it in a little bit. We just wanna get it running for now. So, this, I bought a bushing for this so that it would sit there and not slide back and forth and throw a belt or anything or ruin a belt. So I got that bushing, so I was waiting on that to come in. So that's in here. And now you just see we have our red positive one wire and our black or ground, which will go to this bolt. And that's it. That's all we need. There is a plug on the side somewhere down here which has 2 pins, like most GM one wire alternators or most Power Master one wire alternators will have. You can choose to wire that up. We're not going to today. And the whole point of this is because the 85, this is a 86, but it's really early 85 because it had the external voltage regulator, which I've already removed. We want to go through and remove all the harness we don't need. So it's very simple to set this up. And if you have a serpentine belt system, you have to notch the bracket, most likely, which I did on this car when I put a 3G alternator in. And there's a video on that, so you guys can check that out. So pretty much because this alternator has a voltage regulator in it, we no longer need this one, and it's very simple. I've already went and put the wires on. I'm just going to come back in a minute and put the boots on, but I figured I'd go over this with you guys. This alternator is supposed to put out 110 amps, so 8 gauge or thicker. So the lower the number, the thicker the gauge. So I decided to go with 4 gauge, and I'm just going to put it right to the positive terminal on the solenoid. You could also put it to the positive terminal on the battery. And then I just have a ground, which I put on to the ground of the battery, and it'll just go right to that bolt. And that's pretty much it. So all depending on your motor belt drive system is how you're going to attach your alternator, which I can't really tell you how to do that based on your car. But you literally just need 2 wires. You need a ground and a power wire. I think I got this alternator off Amazon for like 85 bucks. Just had to get that bushing. That was like $4. I got it off McMaster. Measured it with calipers. I did have to bore, I'll show you on the old alternator. I I had to bore this out on the new one just to fit the bolt that was already there. I could have found a smaller bolt and mounted it differently, but I decided to bore it out now, and then later on I will switch it to a serpentine belt. But we want to get this car running so that we can finish it. It runs, we just want to get it so it charged and has a good charging system. I decided to go with the 1-wire one because it's easy to install, eliminate the external voltage regulator, and I get 110 amps, and I believe a stock is 70 for a 2G. That's a 1G, so that might be even less, 55, 60, who knows, that's just a guess. But, and then if I ever want to run, the stocks 2G alternators weren't that strong, so if I ever want to put electric fans and a radiator in this car, which I have no idea if it overheats or not, or how good this fan blade, clutch fan, whatever you want to call it, does. So we're going to find that out shortly. So I'm going to get this mounted up, all set to go, and it's just a quick, short video, guys. And that's all you need to do a 1-wire alternator swap. Very simple. Yeah. So, gonna wrap this one up here. Any questions? Leave them down below in the comments, and always, guys, like, comment, subscribe.